guys, welcome to my channel. To my new subscribers, thank you so much for following and liking my content. I also want to add that this is the best that my body has ever looked, and I just want to share my knowledge and hopefully help someone out there. So, take what you want and leave what you don't. Let's hit it. So, on a leg day, warming up is the most important aspect. I think I spend about 10 to 20 minutes doing some hip mobility exercises. And if you're the kind of person that doesn't warm up or at least stretch on a leg day,
bombastic side eye, criminal offensive.
yes, it's that serious because your hip flexors are at the center of your body, and the less restricted you are, the more potential for strength and power. And you're gonna need all that strength and power to lift the amount of weights that we're about to lift. So mobility exercises like the knee lunges and these internal hip flexors are my favorite mobility exercises on a leg day. And yes, before you even ask, I will be making a separate video for mobility exercises that will help strengthen your hip flexors and your knee joints. So now we're going to move on to kettlebell goblet squats. And the idea behind this is to mimic the moves that you'll be doing, especially when you're squatting with barbells. So I'm moving slowly and pausing at the bottom just to get a deeper range of motion and to warm my body up. So remember to tuck in your core and look at how far apart my knees are. It really helps to get you to that range of motion to get a deeper squat. So lately I've added these hip abductors to my leg days, especially my glute focused leg days. I do get a really nice activation on the sides of my hips. So this superset has really helped tremendously. So holding on to the machine and hovering over the seat in this position is the best way that I can get that full glute extension. And I'm gonna superset this. I'm gonna do 15 reps of this and superset this with another 15 reps by sitting down. So yes, notice the tempo isn't as slow as the first one because it was burning. Next, we're gonna move on to hip thrusters. Now, these are one of my favorite exercises to do, especially for the lower glutes. And this is a touch and go movement. So this means that when the weights touch the ground, you need to explode upward and squeeze those glutes. I don't stop or I don't start counting my reps until it begins to hurt. So I do as much as possible. And notice how my head is tucked in and it's not flailing about because that could cause more injury to the neck. And baby, we don't want that. So I did about 3 sets of these hip thrusters, and on the last set I did a drop set. Drop set is a technique where you focus on completing a set until failure or until you can't do any other reps. Then you lighten the load by 10 to 30% and repeat with little to no rest between each set. Then we move to the hamstring curls. I love doing the single leg hamstring curls with the leg extension machine because I get a better stretch on the hamstring muscle by bending over. Also, notice how I apply the slow concentric and eccentric movements. I increase the tempo for each rep. For example, on the first set, I'm curling up for 3 and extending the leg downward for 3 for about 10 to 15 reps. And then for the next step, I'll increase the tempo to 4. So 4 up and 4 down. So then we move on to elevated back squats. You can use any platform. I like to use these plates for a higher elevation. So if your heels lift when you're squatting, like me, most likely you have poor ankle mobility. So elevating your back squats will help you target your glutes better. Also, notice how my back is slightly bent over. And I'm also applying these slow tempo reps for each set. So 3 going up and 3 coming down. Now, if I were targeting my quads, my back would be straighter, but I'm slightly bent over. In hindsight, I wish I paused a little longer while squatting down so that I could maintain that time under tension on the glutes, but I still felt the burn. So I did about 6 to 8 reps of the elevated back squats, and I superset those with the Romanian deadlifts. So now I'm going to superset those back squats with Romanian deadlifts. Stand with your feet either shoulder width apart, keep your shoulders back and push your chest forward. Think about engaging your lats by flexing your armpits. Then make sure the barbell is close to your shins as you pull up and go down. Make sure your back is straight and engage your core. If you don't engage your core, you will injure your back. Also with the deadlifts, focus on hinging with the hips, really emphasizing pushing the hips back as the barbell comes down. Engage and squeeze your glutes at all times. It really helps to think about that mind to muscle connection. If it helps, how I think about it is I'm picking a pencil with my butt cheeks. So what do you have to do when you're picking a pencil with your butt cheeks? You have to squeeze it so that the muscles can grab the pencil. So that's how to do it. Another way to think about it is just pushing, imagine a door behind you and you're pushing the door closed with your hips or with your glutes. Make sure you're bending your knees slightly because we are activating our glutes and hamstrings with this workout. And then next we're doing the glute hyperextensions, and we're gonna superset these with the deficit reverse lunges. This superset really wore me out, like my glutes were really on fire. So just like the previous exercise, I'm squeezing and engaging my glutes and using these slow tempo reps. I also have a more detailed tutorial on the glute hyperextensions. You can find it on TikTok or on one of the YouTube shorts. So for these, I did about 6 to 8 reps for 3 sets. Now with the deficit reverse lunges, I prefer using dumbbells as opposed to barbells. I notice that I get a better balance with my feet when I have the dumbbells on both sides. And with all glute exercises, you must engage your glutes. So, and also let the front foot do all the work. This helps to lengthen the glutes at the bottom. Because you're in a deficit, that means that you're going to get a greater stretch for your glutes. I'm standing on 2 plates, reverse lunge and drive back up through the heel and squeeze your glutes the whole time. So for the abs, we're doing 30 seconds on mountain climbers, and we're going to superset these with weighted sit-ups. Also a tip for mountain climbers, contract your shoulder blades and push off the ground. This will give you more energy to go faster and longer. And always activate your core, tuck it in. It's important to note that the weighted seated abs is a more advanced exercise. So if you're new to sit-ups, it's best to start with traditional crunches before moving on to this variation. once you're able to do a few sets, then you can start adding weights to your exercise. And also, if you're not engaging your core, this exercise is meaningless and you've done nothing. I'm sorry. So you need to engage your core at all times. So I did about 10 to 15 reps of that, and now moving on to the second set. So next, I'm doing the plank lunge jumps. This is a great dynamic core exercise to do, and it's also a cardiovascular exercise. And just like the mountain climbers, I'm pushing the floor away from my chest, and that gives me a lot more energy to move faster. And also, as you notice, I'm kind of pulsating as I switch each leg. That really helps me push the leg and move with force and speed. Now I'm supersetting it with the same weighted sit-ups. And notice how I'm going slow on the eccentric movements and I'm engaging my core. That really helps me have a very nice core activation, and it's gonna help you get some abs. So this is something that I prefer to do. I prefer to stretch towards the end of my workouts, especially when I've had, a high volume leg day, such as today. Yeah, we really work those glutes and hamstrings. So, girl, we gotta stretch it out. And the older you get, the longer your recovery time. That's something I had to find out. I remember when I did a very intense quad focused leg day, and I couldn't walk for an entire week, and I had to travel out of town. So yeah, and people were looking at me weird, like, why is she walking like a duck? It was that bad. I couldn't even walk up the street without holding onto a tree. Uh, I vowed to never do that again. That was a rookie mistake. So yeah, I spend more time stretching, and it's the most important thing that you can do. And also, the benefits of stretching after a workout is that it reduces the pain and risk of injury. The muscles that stay tight after a workout are more prone to injury, so loosening up your muscles will help reduce your chance of injury. And also, it's beneficial for both the body and the mind to gradually slow down. So when you stretch after a workout, you're giving yourself the chance to gradually wind down. And also, it eliminates lactic acid. Lactic acid is produced when you work out. So this substance can make your muscles achy and tired. So stretching can really help reduce the amount of lactic acid throughout your body. So that's all for this video. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. When you like my content, YouTube, the algorithm notices, and I'm able to give you exactly what you want. So yeah, don't forget to comment down below. Let me know what else you'd like to see. The mobility exercise video is coming soon, so keep an eye out for that.